Hills and Hollers. On this episode, we're going to be following our friends the Kreofskys from Minnesota up to Alaska.
That's right. We've got Dan, Jeff, and Kevin. They're going up to Alaska to hunt big game. This is the first time that Kevin has filmed, and he does a great job as a cameraman. Dan, the elder statesman of the group, has drawn a tag for a Dall sheep. So,
let's see how they do.
I love hunting in Alaska just due to the scenery and the animals. It's like nowhere else in the world. A lot of the big differences you'll see in hunting in Alaska over hunting where we're from in Minnesota is just the terrain. Itself is a lot more difficult. There's a lot more challenges. Mountains, steeper valleys, sharp shale slides. You have to have a lot of specialized gear. And if you go in there unprepared, bad things will happen. We've been hunting in Alaska now for several years. A lot of these hunts that we go on are drawing hunts. And this year my father was fortunate enough to be drawn for a Dall sheep tag. So off we are to Alaska. That's what you're after, huh?
Something like that.
That's right there. It's 3 feet away. Go get it. Our trip really starts when we fly into Anchorage. We meet up with my brother Jeff and start to go through our gear from the years before. Now Jeff is the reason for a lot of success on these hunts. He does a lot of the planning, he contacts all of the biologists, and really gets in depth to get us on the animals right away. A lot of these Alaska hunts that we go on have to be guided hunts according to Alaska state law. However, there is an exception. You can use a first of kin. So using my brother Jeff, who lives in Anchorage, we're able to bypass a lot of the guide fees that would limit us on a lot of these hunts. The area that we were in is an any ram area. Of course, we're looking for the big one. To be considered a full curl, that horn has to make a complete 360 degree. A lot of areas up there are what they call legal ram. Now to be considered a legal ram, it either has to make full curl, has to be double broom, that is where both of the horns are actually broken. Or you have to be able to count the growth rings. This you have to be very close. You almost have to hold him to get those growth rings counted.
Hills and Hollers is brought to you by 10-Point Crossbows, Extreme Hunts, Pike County, Illinois. Shadow Hunter Blinds, the Kentucky Gun Company. Lacrosse and Danner Boots, Derby City Game Calls, Luminoc. Trophy Taker, Hunter Safety System, and Cabela's Tags.
The area that we were drawn for is very remote and very difficult to get into. The only way to access it is either horseback or by plane. We are fortunate enough to have a friend who had a Piper Cub. This is only a two-seater, so that means several trips in and out for us. And we start to go through our gear from the years before. I was going through my gear earlier, and I happened to find out that my brother, trying to be a funny guy that he is, stuck 10 pounds of extra weight in my pack. So he doesn't know it yet, but I put it back in his. We're gonna even the score up a little bit here.
Feels a little heavier than last year. What is this? Come on. Thanks, buddy. Too much time on your hands, huh?
We're coming in, landing about in here.
Exactly.
Then we're gonna come up and try and get into this area right in here.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Okay. We'll pack our packs with our 3-day requirements, and then we'll just do our extra gear for our extended stay into our dry bag and just drop those at the airstrip.
After landing, our first job was to set up base camp. Once we were able to establish that, we set out just kind of glassing the area, looking for the animals.
An important part of sheep hunting is picking out the tent site. So you want to find a spot that's relatively level, relatively rock-free, and also concealed as much as possible from all the eyes up on the mountain. So we are going to make camp.
Our first challenge to overcome was crossing the river. Due to the weather, we were not able to land on the side of the river that we wanted to, so we had to cross this river. This was a glacial river, and it was 30 to 40 feet wide. After walking the river up and down, we found an area where the river narrowed down to about 6 feet. So that means it took 30 feet of water into 6 feet in between these two granite outcroppings. This was going to be a difficult crossing. It's not like you can just jump it with a 100-pound pack. So we decided to build a bridge. We cut down some trees and lashed them together with parachute cord. Now we had to have several attempts at getting this across. Our first two were very unsuccessful, but our third one did the job. Once we were able to get above the brush line, we could see for miles. These mountainsides are sharp, jagged rocks made of shale. Now this is very difficult to walk on because they do break loose. Once we were up there though, we immediately started seeing animals. However, they were a bunch of ewes and lambs, not the rams we were looking for. So that meant more climbing. Well, after not seeing the animal we were looking for right away, we moved back down to our spike camp, but not before we ran into what would be a trophy moose. This moose, folks, is a heartbreaker. We watched him at 200 yards off, knowing we had a moose tag, and we fought. We fought for that moose. My dad, this was his Dall sheep hunt, but he was yelling, "Shoot it, shoot it." He wanted that moose. My brother talked us into pushing on. We were on a Dall sheep hunt, not a moose hunt. And so we decided to pass on it, which some people say we might have made a mistake, but I think we did the right thing. Next day we set off from our spike camp further up the valley to see if we could catch a ram crossing in a little saddle. As we were going though, my brother just dropped. We had no idea what he was looking at. Here off in the distance, he had actually spotted a black bear. Now this, again, came to another point in the hunt where we had a black bear tag with us.
So we're having the same issue we had last night for the Alaska hunter's dilemma. We're out here on a week-long sheep hunt, but so far we've come across 2 legal moose that we've passed on, and right now we're glassing a nice black bear out at 400 yards, and we're gonna wait and see if he gets a little closer, maybe take a shot on him, and see where that leads us. Oh, we let him go that time. We just weren't convinced that he was, that big of a bear, and it wasn't worth screwing up a sheep hunt for it. So we're gonna keep pressing on, see what happens tomorrow.
So we pushed on further up into the valley where we ran into a group of rams. We sat and watched these rams for a while until we found the one we wanted to take.
Every hunter has a wish list, and this is our gear list we've been wishing for. Brought to you by the Kentucky Gun Company.
We're here at the Archery Trade Show in Indianapolis, and we've got Steve Graham here with Rocky Boots, and he's going to show us some of his new products for 2011.
Thank you very much. Yes, this is Rocky Boots. New this year, we are relaunching the Mud Socks. This is our neoprene rubber boot. 5mm neoprene, aggressive outsole tread, keeps your scent in with an antimicrobial lining on the interior. Comes in both camos, AP and mossy oak. We have a shorter version, pull-up stirrups. Both versions will fold over for easy on and off access. Got branding on the inside as well. Also new this year is a series called Long Range. Long Range is something brand new that crosses all divisions. All divisions for Rocky would be work, outdoor, duty, and western. All of the outsoles are built on the same design. The difference is the tread depth on them. The outdoor being the most aggressive. The uppers all different, obviously. These are all the outdoor samples that you see here. The westerns are more fashionable. That's pretty much it for this year. Thanks for coming by the booth.
Folks, I apologize for what you're going to see next. There was a lack of communication between my father and I, and right as that sheep walked out of frame of the camera, it walked right into my dad's scope, and he wasn't holding back.
He's down! Woohoo! Wow! This is a 280-yard shot. About level with us. There's a group of 7 3/4 curl rams. It took the one that was closest to full curl, and we're in an any ram area, so any of them would have been legal, but we picked the largest one, and he also had a significant limp, so we think it was a good take. I don't know if he would have made it through the winter limping like that. Nice one. Wow, look at this guy. Oh man. This guy is awesome, Jeff. Holy cow. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. So the most common area is a full curl regulation area in Alaska. There's also areas of the wrangles that are 3/4 curl, and that would be where they grow through 270 degrees from viewed from the side. And the area we're in is any ram. So any of the 9 rams that we saw today we could have taken, but this was the largest one in the group, and he also had a deformed dew claw that was making him limp. You would have had trouble making it through the tough winter up here. And so we think this was a good take and a good Alaskan ram. Under Alaska law, he's able to be guided by a resident relative. So I was able to take him out. A normal sheep hunt like this, guided for someone from the lower 48, could cost $10,000 to $20,000 once it's all said and done. So it's just great that I was able to come out here with you, Dad, and take you on this sheep hunt, this once in a lifetime opportunity, and I was happy to have both you guys along.
I tell you what, Alaska is a beautiful place. What wilderness. It's incredible those guys got up there. They saw so much game. It looked like they were having a great time. I think you might want to go up there someday, huh?
Heck yeah. I mean, those sheep were cute and all, but did you see that moose they had on camera? That's one thing I'd definitely like to go after.
Well, that concludes another great episode. I'm John.
I'm Laura.
Thanks for watching.
Hills and Hollers is brought to you by 10-Point Crossbows, Extreme Hunts, Pike County, Illinois, Shadow Hunter Blinds, the Kentucky Gun Company, Lacrosse and Danner Boots, Derby City Game Calls, Luminoc, Trophy Taker, Hunter Safety System, and Cabela's Tags. For more information on today's show, the HnH crew, to watch videos or just to surf on through, check out hillsandhollers.com today.